Hey, morning guys. So I haven't been to San Francisco and I definitely haven't worked here in many, many years. But this used to be my normal commute. I used to work downtown like a lot of people do, and I would take the train, the metro, from West Portal Station all the way to Embarcadero. But I've heard things have changed a lot in the last few years. I'm gonna be optimistic. I'm not gonna be too hopeful, but I'm gonna be optimistic. Let's go check it out and see what has changed in these last few years. All right, here it is, guys. 9 a.m. So far, I can tell you there's definitely not very many people for being 8:50 a.m. right before work time. All right, so far I can tell you that it's completely empty. It's weird. It's like there's nobody on this train, and it's like 9 a.m. This is like don't put it work or anything. Alright y'all, so this is Montgomery, which is one of the most popular stations in San Francisco. There's nobody. How is that possible? There's literally nobody here. There's no one here. Guys, it's 9 a.m. on a Thursday and there's nobody here. Guys, this is crazy. It's literally 9 a.m. on a weekday. It's not a holiday. It's not a weekend. It's a weekday, and this is the busiest station in San Francisco. This is downtown Embarcadero. This is where all the businesses are. This is like being in New York, Manhattan. There's no one here. All these office buildings are probably completely empty. These are skyscrapers, guys. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's a ton of people walking around. Maybe people just aren't taking the bus. Or not. Are you writing rhymes or is that poetry? What is that? Can you read that? I can't even read that. Is that in English? Man, this place is completely goes down. Like, if there was ever a zombie apocalypse, this is probably what it would look like. I mean, there's a few people walking around, but it's nothing. Like, compared to what downtown normally is like. I mean, it looks like there's still a little bit of construction going on, so people are still working, but there is really not much happening. So right now, I'm on Market and Pine, Market and Davis, which is a really popular street. This is like prime real estate. You know, an office here probably costs $20,000 a month. And they're like sitting empty. Man, downtown is dead. So here's all these public share bikes by Lyft. It's kind of our version of Uber. And nobody's using these. These are like, there's like one that's not available, but nobody's around. So a big part of it, I mean, it's mainly because of COVID that a lot of people just aren't working in the office anymore. So they're working from home because of the pandemic. And also a lot of places just closed. Like a lot of businesses went out of business, especially small businesses here. San Francisco's been super harsh on the lockdown for the last couple of years. And a lot of people just like they're just tired of paying these high prices for being here for no reason. You know, I think places like New York and San Francisco, people didn't mind spending a lot of money because it was, you know, a cool place to be. There's a lot of people, a lot of energy. But now, like, why would you spend $5,000 a month living here, $4,000 a month living here, if you can be anywhere, and if you're for working from home? Oh, there's a dispensary though. Let's see if it's still working. There you go. Yo, I know you. Good, good. Let's go explore, guys. Alright, so I've been walking around for about half an hour, and it feels so weird, guys. Like, the only time I've ever seen San Francisco this dead is maybe on a Sunday, like when everyone's off work. But this is literally a weekday. I mean, there's still people working here, but like there's really not that many at all. It's kind of like it feels like this whole downtown has been abandoned. Like, these tech workers that you see, like, they would normally be all over the place. Like, it's actually hard to walk around downtown around this hour normally. Here's our beautiful stock exchange. So imagine this being like Wall Street, guys. This is our Wall Street. As far as like masks and stuff, it's really like 50-50 now. Like indoors and like markets and restaurants and everything, it's really strict here. It's like you have to have it on. Everywhere checks your COVID certificate when you go in somewhere. But outside, I would say it's like 50-50. Like, I think technically it might be a requirement, but it's not what I was expecting, where people would freak out. You'd have like Karens yelling at you from across the street, so you put on your mask, you know, especially if there's no one around. Like, literally, it's completely dead, this whole city. So like, there's no one around anyways, and you're outdoors. So I'm glad that it's not as strict as I had heard it was. Maybe it was worse before. Maybe everybody just either got tired of it, or they just realized, like, it's been going on for so long, we're outside, who cares, right? So this is a Blue Bottle, one of my favorite coffee shops that, again, is normally packed. There's like barely anyone in here now. So I'll be honest, I've been reluctant to come back to the US, especially San Francisco, these last 2 years. Not even because of the fear of COVID itself, but just the way that people would be handling it. I just want to deal with like getting arguments with people, you know. And I'm happy that it's not that bad. Like, it really hasn't been as bad as I had thought. I think maybe like one person. I don't know. Actually, like, it's not bad at all. I think things have changed. I think people are kind of giving up. Whereas like they can do their own thing. Nobody's too stressed or worried anymore. I think COVID has kind of beat people down. People have been tired. I think that's probably the best word for it. Is people are tired of what's happening. They want it to end. But at the same time, they're just tired of fighting, you know, and they don't, like, it has become very political in the US for the last couple of years. And it's really like taken the two sides really far apart. I think people were just avoidant of each other. That's the worst thing though. So the first couple of days I was here, I had a lot of mask anxiety, where I was like by myself, you know, in a park with nobody around. I was like, gosh, I need to wear it now because I'm in San Francisco. And then now I just respect the rules, where if I'm on the metro or if I'm in the train, I'll put it on. But if I'm just walking around outside, like, if someone asks me, I'll put it on, but I just don't care, guys. Like, it's hard to say, but yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of shops look like this now. Like, just completely boarded up. Just closed. I mean, I see why. There's no people, right? A lot of things are takeout only now. There's no more seating, no bathrooms. So that's shut. That looks like there's no business. This is completely shut. This is shut as well. Look at this. And this is like a cool building too. It's like a really good location. Like literally, I'm just on this one block the middle of market and everything is closed. Look at this. Retail space for lease. Rent this space. Oh my god, this whole block is ghost town. Guys, this is the best location downtown. Like Union Square is right there, financial district's right here. And literally 90% of the businesses are closed on the street. You guys want to rent prime real estate? Like, it's not just, I didn't just pick this block. I just happened to be walking here. Like, it's everywhere. Look. Like, McDonald's is thankfully still open, but that's released. That's shut. This is Montgomery. This is the prime location where the office buildings are. Like, they don't build skyscrapers for no reason. Like, they build skyscrapers because there's a lot of people. Not anymore. It's a funny guarantee if I've ever seen one. South School used to be filled with crackheads and homeless like this. I don't know where they all went. Some of them got worse, but that's kind of what it is now. You have like old people, a lot of immigrants, and you have some crazy homeless people. Like, that's kind of it. I don't know, maybe it's a good thing. There's less, I mean, there's definitely less crazy people. That's like the first crazy homeless guy I've seen since I've been walking around. But is that good? Like, but there's like just less people in general, including the crazy people? I have no idea. Look, we're the Ritz-Carlton, and then space available. Closed, shut down. Nothing. In this most iconic street. In one of the most iconic cities in the world. So it's probably a good time to tell you what my thoughts are. I think it's complicated. Like, on one hand, I think San Francisco and California in general handled the lockdowns really bad. They really let a lot of businesses, especially small businesses, fail. They completely like messed up our economy, started printing a ton of money. And luckily the US is, I guess the US dollar is strong enough where we kind of absorbed it, but that's not good for our country. But it's also not even good for the world. It's not even fair for other countries where the US decided to print, trillions of dollars. And because we happen to be the reserve currency, it drives up inflation for everyone else. Like, that's not fair. But on the other hand, COVID really is actually more serious than a lot of people think. My cousin's an ER doctor. I had lunch with her yesterday, and she was telling me, like, she's so tired of, this conspiracies and this BS that people, online are talking about that come in. And, like, people, I mean, there's, like, one thing that she mentioned was that's pretty funny. She's like, people didn't want to take the COVID vaccine because it was like unproven, but they would take some unproven drug that some idiot like Alex Jones would talk about on his channel, and it's like, and then like they come in to the ER because they have some complications, and then they need to get treated, and then she'll ask like, why were you not vaccinated? And they're like, I don't, I'll still do my research. I didn't believe in it. And then they're stuck on this, they're stuck there having her work 12 hours a day, stressed out for, sometimes months people stay there. And it's just like, it sucks, I know like none of it's perfect. Like, I'm not pro government shutdown, but I'm also, and I don't believe everything the government says. At the same time, it's kind of like this city and this country is way too divided. And that's actually kind of what I hate about it. I think what I like about Ukraine is some of these anti-vax, they just stay home. They just kind of accept the fate. They're like, you know what? I'm gonna sit this one out. I'm gonna wait until summer. And I literally, I was dating someone who, she was like, yeah, I'm not gonna get vaccinated. And I was like, well, you can't go to restaurants then. She's like, okay, I'll just eat at home. And I was like, until when? She's like, oh, until summer. And I was like, so you're not gonna take the bus? She's like, no. And I was like, you're not gonna go outside? She's like, she's like, no, I'll just stay home. I'm like, while I don't agree with that, in San Francisco, it's different where people kind of like, I don't know, like half smart, half retarded about it. It's hard to explain. least there's a bit more people around here now. But you can still see like a lot of things are just shut down. Right there across the street. All right, so right now I'm walking towards Powell because I know there's just more people here, it's more of like a touristy place. It's not just for people working downtown, but even here it's still like pretty dead, and you know you can see like places that are still shut down. So this isn't a political channel, but I do like to give my opinion, especially from my home city. I lived here for 18 years of my life, 19 years of my life, and I haven't been back in maybe 2 years. Things changed so much. Luckily, like, people are actually pretty similar. Like, people haven't actually changed that much. I think online you think there's a lot more hate and a lot more yelling and craziness than there really is, because I'm sure that happens often enough where people are putting it online. But really 99% of people in San Francisco, in California, in the world are good people. They just want to live. They just want to have a normal life. They don't want this happening, And then you have, 1% or less that are just very loud and vocal, and they make big scenes. And that's what you see on TV, on social media. All right, so here's Gary and Post, which is a very trendy area. Hermes, Valentino, YSL. And then you have, these expensive shops. Chanel's still open, but Lacoste shut down. John Tattle's shut down. A lot of these places are just completely shut down. Like, this is literally Union Square. This is the most popular street for shopping. And like, places are just out of business. Liv Varela's shut down. Alright, so here is Union Square. It looks like they have a little ice skating rink set up. There's like very few people here though. Like, it's completely dead. There's like nobody here. It's so different than like Ukraine. It's like, it's packed. And this is San Francisco, guys. One of those famous tourist destinations in the world. And there's nobody here in Union Square, which is the spot. Like, this is the place to come hang out. I used to come to this mall and hang out when I was a teenager, and it was always packed. I used to have a bunch of police cars parked in front of it. So low-level crime was another big thing that changed San Francisco, and that's why a lot of these businesses shut, is because our stupid mayor, she decided, for whatever reason, I don't know if it was just her, maybe it was also the governor, or whoever, just California government in general, decided, let's not prosecute anyone who shoplifts under $1,000 worth of stuff. Which means I can go into any little shop, any mom and pop shop, any pharmacy, any drugstore, any like convenience store, any magazine, and just be like, I'm just gonna steal up to $900 worth of stuff. You can't stop me. You can't touch me. You can't ask me to stay. You can't call the police. Like, or if you call the police, they don't come for like 2-3 hours, and they don't prosecute you anyways. Like, that really messed up a lot of these businesses. And also just the trust in society. I think that's the biggest part, is just the breakdown of trust, where people just like don't want to talk to each other anymore. To be honest, the two videos I really wanted to make, the two ideas I had, one was either to like just interview people and ask them what life is like in San Francisco, but honestly it's like this weird tension now where like nobody wants to go close to each other, like, because you don't know if they're gonna freak out and be like, oh, like, why are you talking to me? Or, they're like, oh, stay away, put on your mask. Or like, even people who aren't wearing masks, like, there's like this weird tension where nobody's really polite to each other. No one's like bantering and talking to each other anymore. It's become this really strange world where everyone's kind of just doing their own thing now, And the other video idea that I wanted to make, that I know would have gotten 1 million views, is I wanted to go and shoplift. I just go and steal stuff from stores and just film it and be like, look, I'm stealing and nobody can stop me. And just to show how ridiculous these laws are. But I just can't do it. Like, it's not in my personality. I mean, like, sure, when I was like a teenager, I mean, I stole some things from shops, but I can't do it anymore. It just like, even if I know it's like I can't get in trouble for it, it's just not in my human nature anymore. But secondly, I was thinking, like, what if in the tiny chance that they decide, they're like, oh, you know, this guy filmed it, let me make a, what do you call it, make an example of him, that I can't leave California, I have to wait for like some trial or something. Oh God, it would kill me. It would drive me nuts. Like, if I had to stay in San Francisco for the next 6 months or a year, I would be miserable, guys. Seriously. Like, in one of the what used to be one of the greatest cities in the world, even though I can live for free at my parents' house, like, you know, technically I can afford to live here even though it's expensive. I would be so miserable. I would not be happy. Like, I would really hate my life if I had to stay here. What used to be one of the most beautiful cities in the world has just kind of become this empty Gotham City. Look at this. This is a tourist bus, a double-decker bus that would normally be completely packed. The weather right now this week, I'm so lucky. Normally it's like rainy or foggy or just cold. San Francisco this week has been the perfect week. So don't think that because my weather looks good on video today that it's always like this. I'm just very lucky. But yeah, it's a great week and there's like nobody around. Look at this. This bus, like, there's literally empty. Union Station, guys. Union Square. I have really mixed emotions right now. Like, if you asked me a year ago, 6 months ago, I was actually angry. I was like, I'm angry that the city that I used to love, that I grew up in, has become a piece of crap. That, like, these icons, like this cable car that used to be filled with tourists, now empty. But now, I'm not mad anymore. Honestly, I'm just sad. Like, yeah, honestly, it's disheartening. I'm sad. You know, I don't know what the solution is. Yeah, I think it's complicated. There's no 100% perfect solution. But the problem is people are so divided that nothing is going to work. You know, either everyone needs to get the vaccine, or they need to just completely open and say, you know what, we'll do the Swedish model and just like nobody gets it. But when it's literally like 50-50, it's not going to work. It just like drags it on for everyone. Both sides make it harder to survive, you know? And like, meanwhile, these shops downtown San Francisco, Union Square, that used to be very vibrant. I mean, this is where the cable car goes up and down. This street literally used to be packed. Like, I used to not be able to walk here. And look now, like, I'm in the middle of the day. It's probably like 11 a.m. now on a weekday, on a perfect sunny weekday. And every single shop that I see, every shop is just closed. And it pisses me off. Like, this shop is closed. That's closed on this corner. Like, nothing's open anymore. Like, this city is just a ghost town. That's the best way to describe it. The best way to describe it is the city is a complete ghost town now. There's even a sign that says, yes, we are still open. Because people just assume they're shut. They probably just boarded this because people kept breaking the glass, robbing the place. Walgreens was getting robbed all the time.
Yes,
I bet you like, I'm surprised there's not more security here, actually. I guess there is. Look at this. On the most popular, I sound like a broken record, but it's like, this is the most popular tourist street in the most popular tourist destination in the world. And it's come to this. Like, where are all the people? Like, why are all the shops closed? Where's all the people? What happened to this city? there's like literally like nothing here for me anymore. Like to be able to do that in the middle of the street, there's no reason to live here anymore. There's no reason to even come visit. I mean, yes, some of the architecture is still really nice. But like, what are you gonna do here? Like, what's the point of living in San Francisco? Everyone, all the companies have moved away. Tesla's, left California. A lot of the big tech, they either left or they're working remotely from home. Austin has kind of become the new big hotspot. Like, what's left here? At least Burger King's still open. I gotta use the bathroom. And you know what? Actually, I haven't had a croissant in a long time, so let's go check it out. Yeah, can't even use the bathroom, guys. That's what it's come to, guys. America, greatest country in the world. All right, sorry to disappoint Harold, but I can't even go to Burger King because the bathroom is out of order, which literally just means they decided to shut it. Shut. Half of that's shut. What's still open? How you doing? It's just some construction workers are doing around, but I'm gonna try going to the mall to use the bathroom because that has to be open, right? Like, I don't know what else it is.
Please hurry up, man.
All right, Westfield Mall, the most popular, biggest mall chain in America, or at least in California. Oh, thank God. It's dead though. At least it's open. Alright. I'm very happy to hear at least the mall's open. If this was shut, this city would definitely be screwed. But this was the spot, guys. This was the most popular mall in San Francisco. And now it's like, looks like this. Middle of the day. So I'm glad the bathrooms still work. It's funny, we have these drug disposal things right here. Look at that. How crazy is that? I used to come hang out here all the time. Like, this was the spot when I was like a teenager. I think maybe 18, 19. This was the spot. And we would come hang out here. We would go to this food court in front of us, and there would always be people. We would go here to like try to meet girls. And like, look, there's nobody, like, even if you wanted to, like, who are you gonna even talk to here? Well, I haven't missed you guys. Let's go back to the metro. That's kind of it, guys. I wish it would have been more exciting, but that's San Francisco now. It's boring, everything's closed. Here's my train. By the way, on the train, there's no Wi-Fi at all or cell phone signal, which is crazy because Ukraine